How fares the hunt, my friend?
He smiles brightly and pulls you in for a short, if warm, embrace.
You've done me proud, Godwoken. Prouder than you could ever realize. I know how twisted the paths can get. How much more alluring the sunny glade than the rock-strewn hollows. But you know it's the darkest roads that lead to light. It will be my honor to teach you. The nature of my lesson, though, might be somewhat different from what you expect. I can deepen your bond with the Source, but you must realize that this bond comes at a cost. All life, after all, sustains itself by consumption. Like the grass feeds the herd, and the herd feeds the hunter, so you must feed, for instance, on these.
He waves a hand to the cage in demonstration.
The very same. For the sum of source that flows through their festering flesh is more than enough to expand the sum that is yours. Through demise, a chance of divinity. Are you ready? Then let us begin.
Jahan's incantations befog your mind. All of you is thumping blood, pumping, pumping, pumping. Then, all you hear, then all that is screaming. From the cage to you, their blood in your ears, screaming. Silence.
That is all. Their suns have set to serve a greater dawn. The world awaits your true awakening. You are very powerful already, a master of the Source. But I did not let this burst of power go to waste. It lies condensed on parchment for you to read and learn.
He hands you a book, hot to the touch, a sparkle with source.
My pleasure. And now that the lesson has ended, there is one more matter I would like to discuss. Offer you a chance to deepen our alliance. You see, the demon that you killed, the Advocate, he had a master. You might say the Advocate compared to his master, like the pussycat compares to the tiger. It is the tiger I am truly hunting. The self-same tiger, I suspect, that has been haunting Losa. Now, don't you worry. I have no intention of sending you after this archdemon. There are few enough Godwoken as it stands for me to force them into any real danger. The one thing I would like you to do for me, though, is to return through the mist to the Isle of Blood and uncover there his name.
Jahan looks at you utterly flabbergasted, but soon an air of serenity descends upon him, that of a chess player overlooking the board.
Adramalik. You have to admire his cunning. To think that in his guise of Deva, he and I shared the finest wines in the realm. Stories of the women we have loved. Thank you, Godwoken. You have done me an unparalleled service, and you've quite humbled me at the same time. You must go your path, I mine, so that I may confront the archdemon in his lair, in the great city of Arx. Please accept this token of gratitude, and fare thee well. You have done me a great service. The time has come to serve you, if I can. Are you ready, Losa?
Right. Really? Okay, yes. What? I'm ready. Totally. Is it just me, or did it just get really sweaty in here?
I won't lie. This will be rough, Losa. Our foe is a true archdemon. We know him now. A Dramalik. There is a great power in names. Just like Source is the language of creation, a demon's true name is the core of its existence. It's be-all or end-all. With his name, we may undo him. That will be our attempt. As for you...
His dark eyes flash at you.
You must not disturb us, no matter what. Promise me.
He nods respectfully in return, then focuses on Lohse once more.
Close your eyes, Lohse. Do as I do.
Jahan takes Lohse's hands and begins inhaling slowly, deeply, then exhaling audibly through his mouth. Lohse's breaths match his. They begin to hum in unison, a low, rumbling note held over several out-breaths. The humming grows louder and louder until...
Quiet! Adramalik!
Lohse suddenly lunges forward, her hands reaching for Jahan's throat. Jahan steps away, and Lohse tumbles to the ground before quickly scrambling to her feet. Lohse's eyes are ink-black, her skin corpse-grey. Her chest heaves in rapid pulses as she stares intently at Jahan.
Adramalik, thousand-named nemesis, Lord of Soot, come, shake black hands with me. Leave her. Leave her. Come play with me.
This is none of your business, Jehan. How many times do I have to convince you to keep your nose out of my affairs?
Listen to me, demon. I know why you chose her. I know what it is you fear the most, and therefore desire the most. But I'll not let her serve you any longer.
Lohse's a good host, Jehan. We're going places. It's no concern of yours.
Mashtuna Pathan Shdanelu, Kaumel Saravel, Damarel Saravel.
He places a palm on Lohse's forehead. She falls to her knees, seemingly overcome by some unseen force.
You petulant would-be king. You're nothing. She is mine. She is mine.
Kaumel Saravel, Damarel Saravel, Mashtu, Shdanelu.
Lohse's eyes roll back in her head. She groans, her face slack and lifeless, while her body racks with spasms. Jahan draws his palm back from her. She is rigid on the floor.
It's no use. It's too late. I failed her. The demon's not coiled around her heart. He's become her heart. Try as I might, he would not shift. Lohse's soul is buried very deeply, deeper than ever before. Adramalik may never allow her to resurface again. She's lost, bewildered. A stranger in her own soul, desperately trying to find her way home. She's fighting a battle for her life, for her very self. It's a battle she may yet win, even if only temporarily. But she'll need your help. You must call her spirit back from the dark. Guide her into the light. Let your voice be the shepherd that leads the lamb through the valley of wolves. Go on, call to her.
She stirs, barely. Her eyes flutter open and dart around in a panic. They come to a focus on you.
Hey, Chief.
Well done. Very well done indeed.
One piece. Something like that, anyway.
I am truly sorry, Lohse, that I couldn't exorcise the demon, but do not despair. I will not give up on you. We must simply take a darker path still. confront Adramalik in his lair, and deal with the demon face to face. You almost have to admire his cunning. To think that in his guise of Deva, he and I shared the finest wines in the realm, stories of life and love. But now I know where he hides, afraid of his own name. To the city of Arx you must go. I will travel with you, if I may. I will meet you both there and prepare for the coming battle. You'll yet be all, Losa.
Hey. No, I'm not all right. That wasn't okay. It was like dying. I was all alone in the dark, in the deep, deep dark. And I suddenly knew as clear as day that I didn't exist, that no one would ever know me, and then... And then I heard your voice. I heard you calling, and I followed it. It was all I had in the darkness. It was the only thing I could find. Just you. Nothing else. What the hell do I do with that? Right. Right, I get it. I'm lucky to have you around, you know. Even if I can't... Well, never mind. I'm damn lucky I met you, Chief.
My hero, I'm grateful. What news of Gwydion Rince? Have you found him? I am relieved to hear it. You have my thanks. Little good. I went to Paradise Downs to teach a young sorcerer, Gwydion, but the Magisters came for us. We fought them off, and our source drew Voidwoken. You may blame the Magisters for the horror. Responsible? No. I have regrets. If the Magisters had not come, it would have not happened. It is not our fault that our talents draw the void. We are not the problem. We are the hope. I was on my way to where I thought that I might find a friend, of whom I'll say no more. The Magisters trapped me, and it appears I did find a friend. Just not the one I'd expected. My crowning glory, and the millstone around my neck. Yes, I made the bomb. I served Lucian as best I could. I gave him what he asked. Would I do it again? No, I would not. I shall return home to the Empire when the Magisters have cooled their ardour. For now, I'll hide out here. It should be safe enough.
She gives you a shy smile. It's charming, and it may be her tell. She may well be lying.
I owe you a debt. It must be repaid.
She opens her hands, and between them opens a tiny portal. A book drops from it. She catches it and hands it to you.
I bid you farewell.
I've got to say, I think we're onto something interesting here. Didn't work, did it? There's only one thing to do now. I need to ascend. If I can't get this thing out of me, then I'll need to become so powerful it won't be able to control me ever again.
Quick, there's not a moment to spare. She has him, and there's no telling what she'll do. The Black Ring Witch fled, and she has a Magister hostage. You know what they're capable of, don't you? Mihail is a good man. We need to help him.
The farm's gone. The farm's gone. And everyone inside it. I wonder if them strangers made it. I sure hope so. I hope so. End times, I think. I think this is it. I think this is it for us all. I think these are the end times. There was a couple staying in my place. Young folks. Sweet folks. Hiding from the Reds. But then came the end. I wonder if they made it.
This is madness. I'm having flashbacks from the Great War. The Ganglelegs have gone nuts for good this time. They're destroying the place for reasons too stupid to know. The Black Ring, of course. At least they're honest about how wicked they are. Oh, but you better grab a pair of shears. I'm not about to let you just rip it out of me, silly.
She's up ahead, there! Get her! Get her! Oh, she's Black Ring! Black Ring and she'll gut you in a heartbeat! Oh, gods, I'm hit! Go on without me! Don't let her escape!
You sense a blur of movement to your side. Before you can react, there's a blade under your chin and a slim, pale hand upon your weapon. A voice whispers in your ear with a breathy purr.
A guest? How brazen of you to enter without knocking.
The press of the blade encourages you further into the room, then retreats. You turn to face a woman in black ring robes. She's pale and vividly beautiful, wearing a smile that's somewhere between impish and cruel.
Perhaps I'll give you a chance to explain yourself.
She lowers her weapon and gives you a curious look. Not because of your response, though. She's noticed something.
You're no ordinary traveler, are you? You positively reek of sauce. Are you the one responsible for this mayhem surrounding us? Like recognizes like. The Black Ring had great uses for my powers. But those powers aren't enough to help us escape this place.
She gestures to where a young magister is propped up on a cot in the corner. He's ashen and dazed, his shoulder bound in layers of crimson-soaked wound dressings.
This is Mahaly. We absconded together. I from the Black Ring and he from the Magisters. We fell for each other while I was his prisoner. Love will set you free. You look like someone who wouldn't turn down a good thing when it comes to them. How about a little deal? You help us, and I'll show you how to make true use of Source. Mahaly put himself at great risk to free me from Magister captivity. We made it clear, but he picked up quite a nasty wound. We found refuge in this charming hamlet. But then, well, I'm sure you saw for yourself. The landscape tore itself open, Voidwoken appeared, and a shroud of decay fell over us. It's preventing Mahaly's wounds from healing. So, now we must escape this place. Or else remove the decaying shroud so Mahaly can heal. Help us, and I'll help you. Driftwood has far too many Magisters for my liking. I fell for one of them, not all of them. Besides, I asked for help, not directions. That's my price, if you want to see what I have to offer. Thank you. Please, clear the way so that we can head south in the direction of the coast. The north is too dangerous. It crawls with Voidwoken. Once you've helped Mahaly and I pass freely, once we're truly clear, I'll give you what you want.
Her eyes speak volumes.
All that you want. Wise, perhaps. Its effects seem to be stronger to the north. I'd start looking there. Well, have you found the cause of this aura? This shroud?
She slinks forward until her face is mere inches from your own.
I owe you a debt. But I already know what you desire. And I intend to pay in full. Right now. Tell me, do you know exactly what I am? In a manner of speaking, my dear. But I am so much more. I am a succubus. Love is my power. It enthralls those who I seduce and feeds me yet more power. It is through this aspect of myself that I must reward you.
You realize that her hand is caressing your arm. She gazes at you intently. Her eyes are oceans of violet. You could drown in them.
You have my word, though. I will not use my powers to make you my thrall. Just as I hope you won't use what I show you to become some sort of tyrant. Mahaly understands who I am. That's why we're meant to be together.
She grins devilishly and pulls you close.
Let's see what you're made of.
She kisses you. She devours you. Suddenly she's all blinding light and come hither heat. You enter her heat, thrust upon thrust, until she scalds, and with a scream, her nails digging for blood, all becomes an echo of the primal soul, a burst of overwhelming white. Slowly the heat abates as she releases you with a kiss. Your vision swims back into view, Almira observing you with a knowing smile.
My. That was intense, wasn't it? Truth be told, there was nothing really left to teach you, but I felt it would be rude to stop once we got going. You were ever so satisfying, though. Please, accept this little token of appreciation for your effort. Once you've caught your breath, I actually have another little request for you. You have helped me to escape immediate danger, but I remain a fugitive from my old life and the promises I made to it. The Black Ring swear allegiance to a powerful being, the God King. This is not a mere oath of duty, this is the Covenant. And those who accept it are bound to the God King. They are sworn. I am sworn. You have to understand, Lucien's death fog broke us. We were left defeated, leaderless. And then the God King started to speak to us. He offered victory, immortality, anything we desired in exchange for loyalty. How could we refuse? Once you are sworn, there is no escape. Your life is the God King's. Fail or betray him, and you are doomed. Unless you find a way to break the Covenant. That is where you come in, my dear. I discovered the existence of ancient implements called Swornbreakers. They are rumored to be able to break any magical pact, including the Covenant. And while enslaved by the Magisters, I noticed a tablet in their excavation site in the Black Pits. It bore markings that looked very similar to how these Swornbreakers were described to me.
She smiles, fixing those violet eyes upon you once again.
Will you retrieve it for me? He is a god for the godless. A beacon for those who have no place in this world. He seeks to cast down the world of the Seven and build a new world with the Sworn at his side. The Black Ring flock to him after Lucien unleashed his death fog. The undead stand by him because he offers them a return to life. I don't know why the Voidwoken flock to him, but I want to be with Mahalia. That is why the God King and I must part ways. That is why I need a Swornbreaker. My, you are a special one, aren't you? Well, that settles it then. I will join you, and I guarantee we will find use for each other in the future. By the by, a black little birdie told me you've a ship along the shore. That is where we'll go. Enjoy a bit of sun while we wait for you to conclude your business along Reaper's Coast. In the meantime, have a little token as a thank you for all that you've done for me so far.
Travelling light, are you? Smart. I've got my whole life in these wagons. And look at me, like a fly in molasses. You didn't see it. Something happened up ahead. Blocked off the only road to Arx. Lest you fancy taking a stroll through the death fog. We're proper wrecked. Not unless you can bring back the Divine. He'd untwist this pretzel in a heartbeat, no doubt.
Move along, stranger. Not much to see here, but a bunch of sad saps with full carts and empty buckets. That's what it looks like. We're on our way to Arx to set up shop for Lucian's Day, but there's no hope of that now. Whatever's going on in Paradise Downs has good and blocked the path. And unless you want to get a mouthful of death fog or get carried off by a Voidwoken, there's no other way in. Only hopes that Alexander and the D.O. will blow through here and sort this mess out. Well, of course he did. Of course he did. Let me guess. The sun's burnt out and the gods are dead too.
The Red Prince stands stunned when he sees the woman you were about to address.
It is she. The woman I've dreamt of since birth. The secret of my soul, my sweet lady, it is an honor.
He approaches her, goes down on one knee, and courteously kisses her hand.
You do not disappoint, my prince. You are every bit the gentleman they said you'd be. How very pleasurable, is it not, to finally meet in the flesh? For it is very much in the flesh that we must meet after all. Become one. Oh, Father. Life shaper. That is what the goddess called you. How good of you, dear prince, that you have come to shape life in me.
She looks at you for the first time with a look of understated condescension that could rival the Red Prince's own.
I am Sada, Princess of the House of Law. And you interrupt the destined union between the Red Prince and the Red Princess.
Softly, she moves her body against his, puts her arms around his neck, her mouth hot against his ear.
Let's forget for a moment all the forces that drove us here. Shall we, my prince? Let us think of nothing but ourselves. One amid a nest of Saturn. You and I, we know each other like only true lovers do. So at long last, let us become lovers.
By my empire, yes. At long last we shall become lover. Quite. Why don't you, enjoy a nice stroll? A nice, long stroll, while the lady and I enjoy a more private moment.
Sada smiles at him so endearingly, it almost melts your heart.
Come, my prince. Let's retire to that satin nest of mine. Follow me.
Sure, if we wanted to get eaten by a...
Sada and the Red Prince enter the wagon, close the door behind them. Nothing for it but to wait until they re-emerge. A sound reaches you from the wagon, some kind of moan. You find a nice spot in the shade and close your eyes. When you wake from your nap, you see Sada and the Red Prince exiting the wagon, hand in hand. As Sada and the Red Prince walk down the wagon steps, you suddenly witness a group of lizards appearing as if out of nowhere. Their commander is a vile-looking lizard, his face the very definition of mischief. Chuckling, he addresses the couple.
Well, 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 look who's coming up for air. Mighty powerful noises I heard coming from that there carriage. Teensy bit jealous I am.
Silence! You will bow before us and explain this intrusion, or by the seven I will cut you down where you stand.
My, oh my, you didn't tell Loverboy anything, did you, Dollface? Naughty, naughty. You've been played for a fool, little prince. She's sworn to another. That's right. Your boo is betrothed to a very different kind of king. All she needed from you was a dollop of prophecy juice. I dare say she got it.
You utter villain!
Oh, well spoken. Advice I will duly follow.
The Red Prince gently cups Sada's face in his hands.
Sada, my sweet, our meeting has been shrouded in mystery, but know that I'll do right by you. Know that I love you.
And I love you. Together we will brave it all. Even the king.
Oh, ain't that as sweet as a bowl full of peaches? Hate to be that guy, but I gotta break up the party now. Time for you and your belly full of litter to crawl back to the king, darling. Gonna get me some private time with Prince Charming myself.
He grins widely, revealing rows of blackened teeth.
I've always had a soft spot for red meat.
The Red Prince fondles a satin handkerchief, his face a scowl, his eyes two ember spectres.
She gave me this handkerchief. Something to remember her by. Who would have thought so soon would come our parting? The longing of a lifetime squeezed into a few short hours of perfection. Only to end with blood and bereavement. I will, won't I? Thank you.
He hugs you back. The embrace lasts and keeps lasting. When you finally pull away, you can tell he's somewhat embarrassed, but he smiles at you warmly nonetheless.
We've become very good friends, haven't we? Yes. Very good friends.
Poor Paddy. Poor Paddy. Paddy was pulling a cart.
Paddy pulled it real good. Slow and careful. Careful and slow. Paddy carried the good stuff on account of Paddy was real good at it. Paddy fell in the ravine. Oh, Paddy.
My name's Paddy. I'd ask yours, but it don't matter anyhow. Reckon I spooked. Big old nasty beast popped out of thin air. So I ran. And then... suddenly, ravine.
Ooh. Yes, yes. Burn. Your kind has been dismembering and burning mine since time immemorial. I must admit, the smell of charred human flesh is so very enticing. If you can find a bucket, sure. Consider it my last offering to a dying race.
Yes?
He looks at you sternly, for all the world like a schoolmaster lecturing an errant brat.
I think you can quite easily imagine what went on in that wagon. Almost a pity you weren't a witness, actually, for you would have seen the conception of a new world. Not to mention an unparalleled lesson in lovemaking.
His eyes attest to a desperation you've never seen him acknowledge in any way whatsoever before. He seems restless, angry, on the cusp of a tempest you never expected could ruffle his unshakable demeanor.
Finally, I found her. Finally, I found her, only to lose her again. It's unthinkable, unbearable, to know she's in the hands of such villains. Aye. She's gone, damn you! Don't you understand? Just let me.
He closes his eyes and begins to chant an old mantra. His voice mesmerizes, and as he calms, you too feel serenity descend upon the scene.
There. Much better. I apologize for my irritability just now. What you don't realize is... Tell me, have you ever been in love? Too many, unfortunately. Suffice to say, I am in love. In such a way that is the very core of my entire existence. My empire and my throne, I must have them back, there's no question about it. My offspring of dragons, I will see them born. Divinity itself, by all means, I crave it. But above all, above any of them, I cherish her. Yes, I suppose it is. You must know she is my deepest desire, that I've longed for since my soul slipped into consciousness. To see her taken away from me now, after our first meeting, it rends the heart. Words that mend. I thank you for them. I will scour this world in search of Sadher, and if by mortal means she eludes me, I will take divinity for the purpose. The Council of the Seven and the powers of divinity call us. Let's heed them, shall we?
A ghostly seaman stares at the captain, his lip curled in a malevolent grin, his eyes wide with hate, and all the time he rings his bell. He registers your presence. His head swivels towards you.
Spoke to the lady captain, didn't you? I seen you cozying up. Are you her man, or sail you with us? I'm doing my duty here, I am. I'm the lookout, and I'm ringing the bell. Rocks ahead, Captain. There's no lighthouse here. Rocks ahead! Ha 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 ha! But I'm on duty here. There are rocks ahead, and the captain must know it.
He blinks once, twice. A single salty tear drips from one ghostly eye. The bell falls silent. He raises a finger to his temple in salute and fades away. She babbles breathlessly on, barely aware you're there.
My ears are still a-ringing. And I have you to thank for it? Then thank you, I surely do. That accursed bell lies with the peacemaker, on the bottom in the rocky shallows. My compass lies there too. The compass surely lies on the bottom, near where the ship was wrecked. Take it with my blessing, if you can find it. My sailing days are done. Let me mark your chart. But you be warned. Stay off the wreck itself. Let her lie as a monument to her dead crew, and as testament to my mistake.
Monster! Monster! Poor little Peeper! Poor little monster Peeper baby! There's only one way. Yes, there's only one thing to do. Papa! Yes, yes, yes! He wanders, he roosts, but he is special. He can help Peeper, can keep him safe. Then you'd better be the best mama you can be. Care for Peeper and stroke him and bring him straight to his papa. What? No! Peeper's still just a baby, and Papa can help.
Behold, behold, it is I, the magic cockerel. Waka! What is this?
Papa? Papa! Papa?
Well? Marge? Marge! Oh, Marge, she was a good sort. I'll mourn her with my mourning. Caw-caw-caw-caw!
The rooster looks his son over, first with one beady eye, then the other.
He has my eyes. Buck, 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 but I see nothing but the void lurking behind those pretty peepers. Kill him now or he will kill us all later.
Papa?
Good choice. Good choice. Oh, gosh. And I'll give you a little something for your trouble after. What is it? Kill the wizard! That's right, Coco! Doubt will serve you ill before the magic cockerel. None to darken. Why are you still thinking about that abomination? Aren't you distracted by the trinkets I gave you in return? That's all you adventurers care about, no? Get your flapping out of my beak.
Swan gives you a nod. He seems less tired than before. His pipe has been replaced with a piece of straw dangling from his mouth. He plucks it out and greets you.
Good to see you again. Was only just thinking about you recently. Still can't get over that trick you pulled off. She's doing well, you'll be glad to hear. Well on the mend. Natalie's her name, by the way. I've told her all about what you did for her. She'll be able to go home soon, as long as she stays clear of the Magisters. Then back to usual for me. If you need healing or want to trade any goods, my door's always open. Help yourself. Everything I've got's here.
It can be hard to sleep sometimes. I get flashes of... before. The Magisters arrested me in Arx for sorcery. They strapped me to a table, and they put something in my head. Something alive. They put me on a caravan bound for Fort Joy. They said I was going to become a pet for the hammer. I could feel myself changing. I tore off the shackles that held me, like they were parchment. I remember hearing screams, feeling the blood of others on my hands, in my mouth. Then I ran. And then I woke up here.
A war owl swoops down from the sky and delivers a message for the Red Prince. Red Prince, I am the one who has been hunting you, but you cling to life all too tenaciously. We must speak of the reason for your expulsion from the ancient empire, and we must speak of the Red Princess. Find me on the Nameless Isle at the Temple of Zor Stissa. In the presence of the goddess, let war and shadow meet.
Second time's a charm? Or have I asked too much of you?
Try as he might, Tarquin cannot hide a small flash of surprise.
Where did you hear that precisely?
Never mind. The Aeterin is a children's fable, nothing more. Supposedly a wand with an infinite capacity for source. Pure nonsense, I assure you. Really? Well, perhaps that says more about the caliber of their intellect than anything else. Such a device would be a gross overconcentration of power. It could purge the entire world of all source. Luckily, the laws of the universe render such a thing impossible.
The blade quivers as Tarquin nears it, and hums a response. An unfallen reveil. Amadi of Lucio de Anme Drita Dumores.
Oh, very good. Very, very, very good. This, my friend, is the key. Give me some time, and every deity in existence will tremble at the sight of you.
He holds out his hand, expectantly.
Lovely. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must work.
Tarquin turns away, but continues to mutter excitedly, almost religiously, about anathema.
Good to see you again. Marvelous ship you have here. Worthy of a king. She intrigues me greatly. I'd say it was brave of her to send Losa after a demon hunter, but bravery implies something to be feared. She's fearless. One eye is sun, one eye is moon. I wonder which half of her nature she yearns will prevail. My mission has a name, Adramalik. He is the fiend that possesses your friend Losa, but worry not. We'll find him, and we'll undo him. To the city of Arx we must go, where he disguises himself as Dr. Deva.